Hello world. I guess I should do like an intro thing. Not really used to that. It feels a little phony and contrived, but I will do it anyway. Hi, I'm Ashley Collins and welcome to the Breakup Diaries. That was not very sincere at all. So something that I think that I'm vocal about, but apparently not enough. Um, so I guess let's just talk about it. I'm not religious at all. I don't believe in a higher power. And I guess a little bit of background with me. I was raised Baptist, went to church every Sunday, did vacation Bible school. That was always fun. That was actually honestly really fun. I had a lot of fun in vacation Bible school. Mainly because at the end of the week, we would do a play. And so that always excited me. So I guess my priorities were all wrong as a kid. Um, you don't go to church to do acting, I guess. Um, Bible study every Wednesday. Actually, how I learned to read was from reading the Bible. So, every night my mom would have us read some scriptures. And I remember being in school and I was able to pronounce bigger words than some people. And so that was always very helpful. I never really thought of that until just now. I was messaging someone last night and he asked me, "When did you lose your faith?" And I was like, wow, I never really thought of that before. But the first thing that came to my mind was in high school, my sister became very ill very suddenly. And things just, in the movies, when like bad things happen that tear the family apart, there's usually like this kumbaya moment where everything's just fine and happy. But it never got to that point. And we were still having to, I felt so much pressure, still having to go to church every Sunday and still make sure that you're getting good grades in school. And I was also working part time and I was also seeing someone at the moment as well. It was just so much pressure. And what I kept hearing was just pray about it. Just pray and everything will be better. And I prayed and prayed and prayed. And eventually like she woke up. She was in a coma. She woke up, but things didn't get better. And I think that's when that first drum of anxiety first happened in my life. High school, sophomore year. And I was very hyper aware as a kid. I used to have panic attacks thinking about existence, and I'm like, I don't want to die because I don't want to not exist, you know. And was never able to really talk about it. It was just like, just stop talking. God will take care of everything. And I really can't subscribe to the idea that don't sin because Jesus is watching and he died for your sins. So you got blood on your hands. And I'm just like, what? Why would you tell that to a kid? That's so much pressure to tell to a kid. Why can't we teach children? Because children are very susceptible. Children will believe anything. They have a clean slate. And what you're teaching them is what they're going to have for the next however many years of their life. And why don't we teach kids that don't be a bad person just because that's just, how do I say this? Don't be a bad person because they don't win. Don't be a bad person because that's just not the right thing to do. And I think that's more of a stronger why than you're going to go to hell. That puts me in a state of panic, you know? And it also bothers me that there's so many different religions in the world and they're always trying to convince you that one is better than the other. Shouldn't we just accept everyone? And I think that with all religions, they have that one being, that one entity who is protecting you and who is guiding you. And I think that religion is very beautiful, actually. I think that having belief in something is something that helps people get out of bed every morning. And I think that people who lack that aren't missing out on something. They have something else that is getting them up every day. Whether that's Buddha, whether that's Allah, whether that's however, people define it in different ways. And I just wish that people would stop shoving religion down everyone else's throat, saying that things will be better if you just went to church with me. Let me hand you a pamphlet. That is so invasive. And that's not what people need. People just need you to listen, and people just need you to understand. Um and just the fact that by saying, "Oh, your life is shit because you don't believe in God," I can't subscribe to that. Cuz why would God punish you for not believing? I think that there's a lot of good people out there in the world, and they're suffering, and it's not because they're lacking religion. And I think there's actual tangible reasons. The economy fucking sucks. They tell you as a child, okay, spend loads of money to go to school, get a great paying job. You may be a little depressed, you may be a little suicidal, but that's okay because your job pays for your psychologist. And then get a family, and your family may stress you out, but that's okay because you can afford to get a psychologist. And it's like, that's not okay. That's not okay. I think that we should pursue our dreams, and that we should have something that we believe in. We should have a why, whether that why is your kids, whether that why is like someone like me, whether that why is just wanting to make one person smile every day. I think that's religious enough, don't you think? Kind of rambling. Um, and then I want to end with a quote, a monologue that I did from the movie Rachel Getting Married with Anne Hathaway. Um, if I hurt someone, I hurt someone, and I can apologize, and they can forgive me or not, but I can change. And I just want to say that and say congratulations that God makes you look up. I am so happy for you. Smile.